Today I'm going to be changing spark plugs on my 2008 Yamaha FZ6. This bike has 12,392 miles and it's still running the original spark plugs from 2008. I purchased the vehicle about 2 years ago with 3,000 miles on it. Since I've owned it, I've put about 9,000 miles on it. And so I expect these spark plugs to be in poor condition. Also, I noticed that from like 0 to 2,000 RPM, the bike just seems to run a little rough. I don't think the gaps are out of tolerance, but I think it would definitely benefit from a replacement. It does have a fairly steady idle. It sounds just a little uneven. According to the owner's manual, this is what it needs. It's the NGK, the CR9EK, and the part number is 4548 at an auto parts store. Originally, they sold me the CR9EKB, and they might have worked, but the gap was off. So make sure you get exactly the correct part number. To do this job, a lot of people take off the radiator. I don't want to deal with the system, and I have smaller hands. So all I did is reach in there, pulled out the coil, dropped a 5/8 socket in there, put a little extension, and loosened the spark plug. Then to take the spark plug out, I just put this, it acts like a suction cup, and I'm able to wiggle the plug out. And there's the OEM plug, and it's a little hot. So if you look at the spark plugs side by side, we have the same part number, they're both NGK. Notice this top part is threaded. On other spark plugs, I know that you can swap these in for like the iridium version, other elemental spark plugs, and the top just twists off. Then simply just set the spark plug down in there. You don't want to drop it because you could damage the electrode if it hits something. And then I have my 5/8 socket with a slight extension. Just thread that in by hand. You want to start it by hand because you don't want to cross thread it. Great, now that it's hand tight, I'm going to go another quarter turn, and you don't need anti-seize on these NGKs because I believe it's a zinc coating that's on the threads that acts like anti-seize once you torque it down properly. That spark plug's tightened in, and I'm going to work on the next one. You could put the spark plug wire back in. I'm not gonna. Also, just notice they're labeled. So this one has like a yellowish orange sticker with the number 4. And the next one has number 3, the next one is number 2, and number 1. Just to get a little more room, go ahead and remove this 10mm bolt. And then the whole radiator comes this way. And then that way you can just kind of wiggle it around and have more leverage. There's also a 10mm bolt that's right here on the bottom of the radiator. I'm going to remove that too.